Peace and grace to your heart today. You're not here by accident. This moment, this message, this very breath you are taking, it's all part of something divinely aligned. Heaven is moving in the stillness, and even in silence, there's a voice calling out to you. The angels have been watching, whispering, waiting for you to slow down just enough to hear what's always been meant for your spirit. And now, you're here. You've felt it, haven't you? That unexplainable pull. The connection that never truly left. The invisible thread between you and someone else that time, distance, and silence couldn't break. This is not coincidence. This is divine timing. Heaven is speaking to you now. Beloved, the bond you share with this person, it's unbreakable. Not even silence could bury it. Not even separation could undo what God has written. This is your confirmation. If your heart feels this truth already, if your soul is leaning in, pause and breathe. Let it settle in your chest. And when you're ready, type this in the comments, I receive. Because this is only the beginning. Angels say the bond you share is not ordinary. It is eternal. It was forged in spirit before your paths ever crossed in the physical. This connection has survived storms that would have broken others. It has endured distance, misunderstanding, silence, and still it remains. Why? Because your souls recognize each other beyond words. Because heaven doesn't create temporary ties when the purpose is eternal. Even now, in the quiet, you can feel them, their energy, their presence, their prayers. Not loud, not dramatic, but constant, quiet, steady, unshaken. Angels want you to know. They have not forgotten you, and neither has this person. Your hearts were never truly separated, just stretched across time for refinement. God is not teasing you with memories. He's preparing you to walk in the fullness of something He has already declared. Your spirit already knows this. That's why no one else has truly fit. That's why silence didn't equal peace. Because the bond hasn't faded, it's been protected. Heaven says, you were made for each other in a way this world may never fully understand. And that's why this message has found you today. Pause. Breathe. You're not imagining this. This is a holy connection. And it's awakening again. You've walked through a season that didn't make sense. Loss, silence, the aching space between what was and what's coming. And still, your soul kept listening, for something, for someone, for clarity. There were nights when you questioned it all. Why they left, why they went silent, why someone who felt so deeply connected could suddenly disappear. The truth. Heaven was never punishing you, it was protecting something. That distance wasn't rejection, it was redirection. Not everything broken is meant to be discarded. Sometimes, it's meant to be rebuilt on stronger foundations. Your heartbreak wasn't a mistake. It was a setup for revelation. You needed time to return to yourself, to rediscover your voice, to rebuild what was lost in the giving. And yes, they needed time too, to see the truth beyond the noise, to understand what they were truly carrying when they held your heart. God saw what you couldn't. He heard conversations behind closed doors. He witnessed their confusion, your tears, and the places where your paths misaligned, not because you weren't meant for each other, but because the timing wasn't yet holy. Remember this. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. Let that settle in you. You're not being left behind. You're being lifted into alignment. Beloved, what felt like loss was actually divine rearrangement. The people who drifted, the relationships that faded, the sudden silences that echoed louder than words. None of it was random. Heaven was clearing space, not to punish you, but to position you. There are moments in life when God gently removes what is not aligned with your destiny, not because you failed, but because you're being prepared for something greater. You didn't lose them. They were released. Because what's coming is too sacred for crowded rooms and conflicting energies. Some were never meant to stay past their season. Others had to step back so they could see the truth from a distance. God is not just restoring what was. He's refining what will be. There are angels at work behind the scenes, rearranging timelines, aligning hearts, softening pride, and restoring clarity. What was scattered is being gathered again. It's not falling apart. It's falling into divine order. What once felt like confusion is becoming confirmation. You are not abandoned. You are being aligned. And when it returns, because heaven says it will not look like what you lost. It will look like what was promised. Pause and breathe. Let that truth rest in your spirit. You've been noticing it, haven't you? Little signs, soft nudges, moments that make you pause and ask, was that from heaven? The name that appears out of nowhere, the dream that felt more like a visitation, that sudden pull to a place, a memory, or a prayer you haven't touched in months. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. Your angels are guiding you, not with noise, but with knowing. That quiet urge in your spirit, that's alignment. That repeated number, that's timing. That sudden peace when you think of them again, that's divine reassurance. Heaven speaks in whispers to the ones who listen in silence. And you've been listening, whether you realized it or not. When your heart randomly feels full for no reason, when your soul stirs at the mention of love again, when you sense them in places where they're not, it's not your imagination. It's your spirit remembering what your eyes have not yet seen. Ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way. These signs are your alignment, beloved. They are the map back to what was never lost, only hidden for a season. Let's speak to the part of you that still wonders if you're worthy of this kind of love. That part of you that questions, did I mess it up? Did I wait too long? Was it all in my head? Beloved, hear this clearly. You are not too much. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are becoming. There is nothing about your sensitivity, your depth, or your longing that disqualifies you. In fact, it's those very things that heaven is using to draw you into alignment. Your pain wasn't pointless. Your loneliness wasn't punishment. Your delays weren't denials. They were divine pauses for protection and preparation. The silence wasn't God ignoring you. It was God shielding you until the bond could bloom in its fullness. And though you've carried invisible weight, though you've questioned your worth, though you've tried to move on without ever really letting go, heaven wants you to know. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. Let that comfort you. What was broken is being restored. What was confused is becoming clear. What was delayed is being delivered. This isn't over. It's just beginning. There is someone whose spirit is tethered to yours, not by accident, but by divine assignment. They may be silent right now. They may be distant. but the bond remains because heaven authored it. This person has walked through their own fire. They have cried in secret, wrestled with identity, and questioned if they were even capable of being loved in the way their heart has always longed for. They are not perfect, but they are purposed. Like you, they've been tested. Like you, they've been molded through pain. And like you, they've never been able to shake the feeling that something, someone, is still waiting for them on the other side of the healing. You see, the delay wasn't just for your growth. It was for theirs too. They are learning how to love from a place of surrender, not survival. How to see you clearly, not as a fantasy, but as a covenant. And even now, their spirit knows yours. They feel the weight of what they almost lost, and heaven is stirring within them the courage to return, not just physically, but spiritually. This is not about getting someone back. This is about receiving what was always part of your divine path. They are not a stranger to your soul. They are the answer to a prayer you stopped praying out loud, but never stopped feeling. When it happens, when your paths cross again, whether in quiet reunion or unexpected collision, you won't need to question it. There won't be chaos. There won't be confusion. There won't be the need to prove or perform. There will be peace. Your soul will know, not because of what they say, but because of what you feel. It won't be panic that rises in your chest. It will be stillness, not a racing mind, but a resting spirit. You'll hear it in their silence. You'll feel it in their presence. You'll recognize them by the calm in your body, the warmth in your chest, the clarity in your heart. And they will know too. Even if they can't put it into words, their soul will whisper, "It's you." They may not understand it fully, but they won't be able to ignore it either. And the peace of God, which passeth all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. That's the kind of peace this connection carries, not the kind the world gives, the kind that heaven sends. So don't look for fireworks. Look for stillness. Look for what doesn't shake, because when God sends it, it comes with peace, not pressure. And you'll know, because you've always known. It's time to come into agreement with what heaven is preparing. Not just hoping, not just wondering, but declaring. Speak this out loud right now. I am ready for what heaven has prepared for me. Let the sound of your voice be your agreement. Let the words rise from your spirit, not your fear. Now type it in the comments. I am ready for what heaven has prepared for me, because your words create movement. They release alignment. They activate what's already on its way. You're not just watching this message. You're stepping into it. This is no longer a dream. It's a divine unfolding. And your yes is powerful. The shift is already happening, beloved. You're not waiting anymore. You're walking into it. What once felt delayed is now being divinely delivered. The timeline is no longer held in hesitation. It is being accelerated in alignment. There is movement in the spirit, not just around you, but within you. The bond hasn't been broken. It's been buried under layers of growth, timing, and surrender. But now, heaven is brushing off the dust, breathing life into what was never truly dead, calling forth what's been waiting in silence. Even now, angels are orchestrating divine timing. Words are forming in their heart. Conviction is softening pride. Revelation is opening their eyes. You are not chasing a promise. You are becoming the promise. And every step you take forward, even in stillness, is a step closer to divine fulfillment. This moment is not just emotional. It's spiritual. what your heart has felt, what your soul has carried, what your spirit has waited for. It's in motion. Heaven is realigning timelines now. And your obedience, your surrender, your trust, it has not been in vain. You were never forgotten, only being positioned. This isn't fantasy. It's fulfillment. You haven't been the only one feeling this weight. The person your soul is connected to, they've been walking their own wilderness, carrying silent regrets, unspoken prayers, and hidden longings that no one else could truly understand. They've tried to distract themselves. They've tried to forget. They've even tried convincing themselves that you were just a beautiful detour. But their spirit won't let them move on, because you were never just a chapter. You were the revelation they weren't ready to receive at the time. They've wept in places no one saw, whispered prayers they didn't think God heard, and whether they admit it or not, they've cried out for someone exactly like you. Their healing didn't happen in front of you, but it's been unfolding behind the veil. God has been working in them, softening pride, breaking patterns, restoring clarity. They've felt your absence like a sacred ache, and slowly, they're beginning to understand, not just who you were, but who they're meant to become with you. Their journey hasn't been perfect, but it has been purposeful, because the same God who's been speaking to you has been whispering to them too, and in the silence, heaven has been shaping the both of you for the kind of love that lasts beyond noise, beyond fear, beyond time. Don't expect them to return looking like your old idea of love. Don't expect the story to unfold the way you scripted it in your longing. Heaven rarely delivers promises in the packaging we expect. This person may not check every box on your old list. They may not match the version you imagined in your waiting, but they will carry the truth your soul has always known. You may hesitate at first. You may even question, could this really be it? But listen closely, not with your mind, but with your spirit. God looks past appearance. God looks past the surface. But the Lord said unto Samuel, Look not on his countenance, or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth. For man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart. And what you're being given is not a polished performance. It's a purified heart. The package might surprise you, but the connection will confirm everything. Let your discernment be louder than your preferences, because heaven sends purpose, not perfection. This connection goes deeper than romance. It's more than feelings, more than chemistry, more than sweet words and physical closeness. It's purpose. Heaven did not bring you together for comfort alone. This bond carries legacy. Together, you are meant to birth healing into generations, to break patterns that kept your families bound, to rewrite what love looks like in a world that has forgotten its roots. This isn't just about two hearts finding each other. It's about two callings becoming one. Your love is a mission, a ministry, a message. You'll look back and realize that everything you walked through, the silence, the waiting, the spiritual refinement, was all preparing you to carry something sacred together. There is territory assigned to the two of you. Prayers you're meant to answer, wounds you're meant to help heal, people whose lives will be changed by simply witnessing the love you choose to walk in daily. Now unto him that is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that worketh in us. This love was never meant to end with you. It was meant to flow through you. You are not just lovers. You are legacy bearers. It's time to agree with heaven, not just in thought, but in voice, not just in hope, but in declaration. Say this out loud, wherever you are. I am prepared and expecting divine alignment. Let your spirit rise with those words. Let your atmosphere shift. Now type it in the comments below. Prepared and expecting. Why? Because when you speak it, you seal it. When you write it, you release it. You're not just watching this as a passive listener. You're partnering with the prophetic. This is not a maybe. This is a movement. Say it again. Let it anchor you. Prepared and expecting. Because your posture in this moment matters. Your agreement is the door. And faith is the key. This is more than affirmation. It's activation. This is already on its way to you. Not just the person, but the peace, the confirmation, the restoration. Heaven is not teasing you with hope. You are being trusted with timing. Every moment you've waited, every tear you've shed in silence, every time you almost gave up but didn't, it was seen, it was heard, it was sacred. And now, the divine clock is turning. Things are coming together, quietly, powerfully, purposefully. This isn't just about reunion. It's about redemption. You haven't missed it. You haven't messed it up. You're not behind. You're exactly where you need to be. In faith. In stillness. In trust. Let this be your confirmation. You didn't imagine that bond. You didn't create that connection in your mind. It was planted there by God. And even in silence, it has remained unbroken. Now, beloved, take a deep breath. Place your hand over your heart. And rest in this truth. You are being prepared for something holy. And it's coming, quietly, but certainly. Let that settle in your chest. It is well.